In the last year alone, I've written over 500 YouTube scripts for myself and all of my clients. Today, I'm not going to waste any of your time. I'm going to show you how you can use AI to write YouTube scripts so good that you will never need anyone to write a script for you ever again. If we haven't met before, my name is Ahmed and I run a B2B YouTube agency, essentially helping marketing agency owners drive 15 to 30 book calls in the next 90 days directly through YouTube Organic. And so far in the last year, we've generated over 6 figures for our clients directly through YouTube alone. You can track it as well. And I can send you all testimonials and screenshots if you don't believe me. So in this video, I'm going to break down the AI prompt. I'm going to go through every single stage one by one, and then we're going to go through it live on Claude so that we can do it together. And at the end of this video, I'll leave a link in the description where you can download this AI prompt and you can steal it away for yourself for absolutely free. So let's get into the video. So now, as you can see, we're on Loom here, and I'm going to be taking you the prompt that I use on a day-to-day basis to help write scripts for myself and all of my clients. So the prompt starts off with, "Hey ChatGPT." You can use Claude. I recommend using Claude, but I just use this as an example. I'm writing a YouTube script titled video title, so you can include your video title here. If you want help on creating video titles, I left a link in the description to a video that I've made about that. So if you're struggling to come up with the ideas or the video titles, I've left a link. You can go check it out. Do not use quotations or italics, just for reference, because one thing I noticed that AI does is that it sometimes uses speech marks, and I don't like it when it uses speech marks because it doesn't feel personal and you have to kind of just take it out, and I just don't really like it. It's just a personal preference. So the goal of this video, and that's for you to enter. So this could be educating your audience, helping them drive sales, helping them understand a specific topic. That's where you enter this. So yeah, you can enter this part here. If you don't know how to come up with goals of your videos, we're going to get into it later on in the video. So I always just like to leave something here where it's like, before writing the script, you ask the user, do they have any case studies, testimonials, or real world examples that should be included? The reason why is because it helps elevate the script. So if you see in my intro and in my hook, I spoke about the experience that I've done. So I've written over 500 scripts. I have driven over 6 figures in revenue for my clients. So that's something that you can really go off, and that's something you can just feed into the AI. So it's going to ask you some questions when you enter this prompt into Claude. So this part here is that, are there any specific pain points, objections, or fears that the audience has that should be emphasized? So this is really to kind of dig the knife into your ICP, or the types of people that you want to watch your video. One thing that I notice is that if you can really paint the picture beforehand of recording your video and filming your video, it really helps with your script writing process, with your ideation process, because you know that your video is directly made for one person and one person only, and it kind of disqualifies all of the people that you don't want to work with. You don't want to waste your time on sales calls. You don't want to waste your time with funnel hackers. I had to just block a funnel hacker earlier on this morning. He really ticked me off. I'm just digressing here. But you really want to showcase exactly how what you're about to say in the video is going to solve all of these pain points, all of these objections, all of these fears that your audience is facing, because that's probably the most important thing. Do they want the script to be data-driven, storytelling, or focused, or a mix of both? See, data-driven is slightly harder because, again, it's solely based on your testimonials, your experiences. So storytelling may work a bit better, or a mixture of both. Either way, all of that can work. So this is the most important part of the script here. The script must follow a setup, tension, payoff structure, whilst also incorporating fully written open loops throughout to keep engagement high and ensure viewers stay for the full video. Every open loop must be explicitly written out and paid off later in the script. No placeholders, vague instructions, or user interpretation required. The reason why is because I want to make this as easy for you as possible. Now, the reason why I'm talking about the setup, tension, payoff structure is because think about a story. Think about when you're about to set something up. Think about how you would get a user from point A to point B. Initially, you have to kind of describe what the problem is. So for me, in my setup of a video, of a script, I would say, okay, here's why you need YouTube. YouTube does all of these benefits. YouTube has all of these perks for you. And then that leads me right onto the tension, because in the tension section, I can essentially just discuss, okay, what is the benefit of that? And what are you missing out if you're not on YouTube? And in the payoff structure, or the payoff part of the structure, you're essentially going to be giving away your information and all of the things that kind of tie in all of the things that you mentioned in the setup and in the tension. I kind of discuss it later on. The framing decision is super important because you want to clearly articulate how the video reframes the audience's understanding. And then you have the grand payoff, which is the key emotional hook that ensures the audience stays until the end. This links here into the open loops because you want to kind of emphasize and you want to get people watching the video for as long as humanly possible. If your video is 12 minutes and you get someone watching you get an average view duration of 5-6 minutes, that's 6 minutes, and YouTube sees that you have a 50% view duration. So that's something that's super, super important. I really recommend you including those open loops, and you're going to see it in the AI. So again, in the hook and the introduction, you always want to start off with an emotional high stakes statement. So I kind of mentioned it here. If you're an agency owner, you're already losing clients to someone who understands YouTube better than you do. Already I'm hitting them with something that's relevant, and it's a bold status hook. And then you want to go into the FOMO trap that they're falling into. So right now, your competitors are building trust, establishing authority, and signing clients while you're wondering if YouTube is still even worth it. Easy. Then you introduce yourself and establish credibility. So obviously, my name is Ahmed, and over the last year, I've helped businesses generate over 6 figures through YouTube organically. I literally said that in my hook. And then you want to explicitly, or the AI will explicitly write out the curiosity hook and the open loop. Again, we want to focus on getting the viewer watching the video for as long as humanly possible. So here you can see. But here's the thing, 95% of agencies will ignore what I'm about to show you. If you're in the 5% ready to break through, you'll unlock a strategy that can generate consistent, high quality clients. So let's get into it, or let me prove it. So that's a really good hook. You're not waffling, you're not talking too long, you're not kind of teasing the audience for far too long, because one thing I noticed about B2B is that you have to get into the meat of the video right away. So if you're unable to do that, someone is going to click off. Okay, so perfect. So we go into the main content now. So I essentially wrote it as 3 different sections. So if you want more, you can just ask the AI, do 5 fully written sets. So in this section, we're basically going to include the setup, the tension, and the payoff. So in the setup, you want to introduce a surprising insight or data point or case study that reframes the topic. Then you provide a real world example of why this matters. Then you establish the importance of fixing the issue now. Then you introduce an explicitly written open loop that will be resolved later. That leads into the tension because, again, you're twisting the knife. You're explaining why the common approach is failing. So, for example, for me, it's, okay, if you're not posting on YouTube, what is the issue? What are the issues that you will face if you're not on YouTube? And I highlighted it here. Make the audience feel the pain of inaction. What are they losing every day? Then you want to highlight the competitive edge that others are gaining while they wait. Again, you are twisting. You are really making sure that your audience knows the problem that you are about to solve. And then you solve it in the payoff. You provide a clear step-by-step solution or a framework. You can show proof. You can share your screen. You can kind of identify what works and what doesn't work. And then you resolve the previous open loop and smoothly transition into the next section. And then it basically does the same thing in section 2 and then in section 3. But in section 3, we kind of close it off because we want to provide the ultimate takeaway or final framework. You show exactly how to execute the final piece of the strategy. And then you resolve all open loops, and then you tie it back to the grand payoff from the introduction, which you mentioned up here. So essentially, I will say in this video, I'll show you exactly how to book 15 to 30 book calls from YouTube, and then I'll kind of close it off over here. And then the outro, you'll reiterate the key transformation that they just unlocked. You'll remind them of the biggest mistakes that they need to avoid. And then you want to kind of tease in one more curiosity gap. So you introduce one final insight or advanced strategy that they can learn in the next video, and then you can tease the next step in their journey. So that can be like, for example, if you want to know, I kind of mentioned it as well. If you want to know how to generate ideas, you can go click the link in the description. I'll show you how you can ideate all of your videos free of charge. And then you want to include a direct call to action. So it's a strong urgency statement to push action. Example is, click the link below right now. Every day you wait is another day your competitors are building trust, establishing authority, and signing the clients that you could have had. Let's turn your YouTube channel into a high ticket machine before it's too late. That's an example. I don't really like this part. This is very AI. Let's turn, or let's do this, or let's collaborate. I don't really like that, but you kind of know. And then some rules for the AI to follow. You remove all mentions of camera angles, cuts, and visuals. You do not include timing marks or shot descriptions. Do not leave placeholders like tease this here. And all open loops must be explicitly written and resolved later. In this part of the video, I'm going to basically run it through you on Claude, and we can essentially do it together. So we're going to copy and paste this, paste it into Claude, and then it's going to give me something. Okay, so now it's asking me the questions that I mentioned right at the start of the video. I'll assume I am a ghostwriting agency and I want to help people sign clients from Twitter. Let's use that as an example. So that's kind of the position I'm going to assume. So I have this, I use this as, actually, I need to tell you what it is first. This is Audio Scribe. You can download it. I'll leave a link to it in the description. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be speaking into Claude, and then essentially it will work very, very easily. So I'm going to speak into it and I'm going to say, I run an 8-figure ghostwriting agency and I want to help people sign clients through X. I have a crazy amount of case studies and testimonials. I've helped generate over 8 figures in results for me and my clients. And I have a ton of testimonials that you can check out in the link in the description. I've helped someone go from 0 to $1 million a year. I've helped someone go from 0 to $5 million a year. I've helped someone go from $10,000 a month to $400,000 a month directly through Twitter and X, through ghostwriting and through specific mechanisms. The video idea is going to be titled "The New Way of Signing Clients from X." That's kind of, wait for that to finish. So that's kind of what I want to mention for question 1. Question 2, we're going to say the specific pain points and objections or fears is that nobody knows who they are. They do not have a personal brand. They would probably go to their competition. I'm trying to think of other ones that potentially people with ghostwriting agencies struggle, or the ICP of the ghostwriting agencies struggle with. So it's being anonymous online, not being recommended, not being top of mind when it comes to buying potential from their audience. And yeah, I'd say that's pretty much it. Again, I don't really know what it didn't even include it. Okay, let me try that again. The pain points include not being able to sign clients from X, not being able to grow a personal brand, missing out on opportunities, being left behind by competition, having a weak personal brand so that you don't get invited onto major awards, major ceremonies, major testimonials, not being invited onto podcasts, not being a thought leader in your industry, not being able to sign clients consistently, having really long sales cycles, struggling with low close rates because no one knows who you are and you haven't been nurtured. So I say that is a good response for question 2. I say for question 3, the script, I want it to be a mixture of it being data-driven and storytelling focused and a mixture. So let's see how it goes. So I've entered it into Claude. Let's see what it comes up. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad so far. Now, obviously, when it comes to the script, it's not this be-all and end-all type of solution. Like, obviously, you're going to have to go through it and check it and see if it really works with you, if you want to add more, if you want to take it away. But if we read it so far, I don't even think it's that bad, right? I think we're probably at 60 to 70%. If you have maybe 20 or 30 minutes spare, you can really just hammer it out and essentially just take it to the next level. So if you're running an agency or a service-based business right now, I need you to pay very close attention to what I'm about to share, because while you're struggling with long sales cycles and low close rates, your competitors are using a method on X that's letting them close 5, 6, and even 7-figure deals without ever jumping on a sales call. Here's the truth. If you're not leveraging X the right way in 2025, you're already being left behind. I just watched one of my clients use this exact method to go from 10K to 400K per month in revenue. And the craziest part is they didn't spend a single dollar on ads. So it kind of matches what I mentioned in the hook and the intro. Like, emotional high stakes statement, it challenges a belief or creates cognitive dissonance. I think that's really, really important. And it also uses FOMO or loss aversion to create urgency. I think it matches this. My name is, you always have to introduce your name because that's what Hormozy teaches. You always have to admit and showcase that you're talking to someone new. We've helped our clients collectively generate over $50 million in revenue using this exact strategy that I'm about to show you. One client went from $0 to $1 million a year, another scaled from $0 to $5 million. But here's what keeps me up at night. I'm seeing brilliant business owners make 3 devastating mistakes on X that are killing their chances of landing high-ticket clients. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to avoid these pitfalls and implement the same system that's working for our successful clients right now. So this is the point 1, right? Let me start with, I accidentally entered a prompt. So let me start with something that might shock you. 82% of B2B decision makers are now checking social media before signing any major contract. But here's the real kicker. They're not just looking at your content. They're judging your entire market position based on your X presence. I learned this the hard way when I first started. I was posting regularly, sharing valuable content, but still struggling to land clients. Then I discovered what I now call the authority paradox. The more you try to prove your expertise, the less authoritative that you appear. So that's kind of how we do it, right? It's going to go into any random method. You can really just ask Claude to correct it. You can give it your bullet points, how you take a customer from A to Z, but Claude will do much of the heavy lifting for you. All you need to do is kind of change it, alter it, tweak it to fit around you, fit around your service, fit around your offering. And it doesn't just work for people that want to grow a personal brand. It works for e-com brands. It works for digital marketing agency owners. It works for PR firms. It works with SEO firms. It works with anyone that really just wants to save time using Claude. So again, it just goes into everything that you need. And if you want to add more to the script, you can just ask Claude, make the script deeper and more targeted to my ICP. My ICP are businesses that have over 200 employees and are struggling to appear as thought leaders. Now, I'm just making this up. If you want something that works better for you, please go for it. I'm just trying to make this easier for time. But what Claude is going to do right now is it's going to easily make, see, right now there's a massive shift happening in enterprise sales that most 200 plus employee companies are currently missing. That's talking exactly to my ICP and disqualifying everyone else that isn't. So again, you can basically just ask Claude to fit around your ICP, fit around your mechanisms, your structure. You can hand it to them and Claude will sort you out. And I really like this AI prompt. It's taken me about 2 weeks to write and test, but I think we're finally there. And if you want Claude to add more bullet points and payoffs and sections, you can ask Claude to do it as well. So that's how you can use AI to completely speed run your script writing process. And that can probably elevate 60 to 70%. Obviously, you want to make it sound a bit more like you, but Claude has done a lot of the hard work already. So let me know what you think. Leave a like, comment if you enjoyed this video. And if you want me to come into your business and implement our system where we can book you 15 to 30 calls in the next 90 days directly through YouTube organically, check the link in the description where you can book a call with myself and my team. We can sit down, we can craft a really good strategy, and we can even see if we're a good fit to work together long term, because I am losing spaces for my clients and I really need to close down. I'm having a ton of inbound inquiries. So if we want to work together, let me know. I've been Ahmed. You guys have been my loyal audience. Take care. I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.